Today I'm going to go over a card by card for my deck, explanations, why I'm running it, um, things like that, the ratios. First, I'm going to explain my deck, and then after that I'm going to show other techs that you can also run that I don't think are too bad. I just personally don't run them, um, either because I don't think they're needed, or I just don't think it's good enough. But, first of all, um, Neptibus, obviously, he's your best starter. I think he's probably the best starter in Yu-Gi-Oh! Being able to send one for cost to add one from to add deck to hand. Um, Now with Neptibus, you're gonna usually though always be sending uh either Dragoons or Squad, and you're gonna always be adding Shrine. If you don't have her, you always add her. She needs to be your first add in this deck every single time, because if you get Droll, she can bring out Coelacanth, and Coelacanth is just, he's insane. We'll go over it in a second. But Neptibus is your best starter. Next, I guess this is what shows up next, is the Heavy Infantry. He has this effect. It doesn't really come up much. I've had times where it has come up, because like, you know, you can like link two into a Coral and enemy, and then Coral and enemy bring back, and then go into the link three, and then have like target protection on like your Abyss Megalo whenever you summon him, if you're scared of like an Imperm, or you know, just there's silly things like that you can do, but it never really comes up. But what you're using for him most of the time is when he's sent for water effect, he gets to pop a face up card. So going second, there's a lot of ways to like discard him to get that effect. So even going second or going first, this card is good. Um, Menstrual, this card is you discard another water monster, and you get to look at one card and banish until the end phase. This is really good just because you can do this before 5 summons, so you can stop Nibiru. This card is probably one of the best cards in this deck, honestly. Even just seeing this card without, like, it's not even that, like, a brick or anything, because he can, like, bring back a fish. Yeah, it can, like, a fish, Sea Serpent, or Aqua, which, that's the whole deck, you know? He's also a level 3 tuner, and since usually your opponent will have 5 cards, um, bringing back, like, a Dragoons, or Abyss Spike, you know, you can have easy access to, like, level 7 synchro lines. Um, Next is Abyss Shrine. She's really good. She tributes one other Atlantean or Mermail monster from hand or field to special summon a level 7 or higher fish, Aqua, or Sea Serpent. Usually, or you can add to hand. That does come up sometimes for like, there'll be times where like you'll get Fluost or something, and you don't really want a specialist, so you'll like go into like an Bistius, like add it to hand so that you can special it, or add this to hand so you can special it, and then you don't have to like play into a Fluos. Next squad, I would like, the reason why squad isn't at 3 for me is because I just really don't like seeing him in the hand. I've noticed most games. Most games I am just sending him from deck. Like I kind of like want him. He's more like situational, I feel like, over the other ones, because I feel like when I open him in hand, like I either get immediately punished with a Fluos, which is like annoying as shit. So I just don't like, I think like he's like one of the worst ones to open, and I think his effect's good, but I think it's just like more situational effect. So I only played 2 of them. I don't think you should play him on 1. I don't think he's bad. I just don't like seeing him in hand, but I like, you know, it's not bad seeing him in hand either. Butterfly Flesh. This card makes me happy, sad. It does so much. But there'll be times where you'll misclick and you just want to like fucking cut him out of your deck faster than anything. But he's really good. If you discard him from hand, you can add him back. So he's like a double discard, which is really nice with this deck whenever you're discarding stuff. Um, Another thing is when he's in graveyard, I believe if it's like a water monster, a special summon, you can just discard a card and special summon him, which is nice like for a Dragoons to get an additional search, and then have a level 3 body on field to like go into some like Rake 3 lines, or if you have a tuner, you can go into some 9s, you know, stuff like that. Barrier statue. This card's very complex. Yeah, It's so. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this card's ridiculous. I mean, the fact that you can just do it for free. Yeah. Dragoons, not once per turn. You add a lot of cards. You just get to add cards to your hand. Yeah, you just do the send. Yep, add. He's awesome. This guy, a lot of people usually play him at 2. I was talking to someone and I saw his list and he was playing at 4. He kind of explained it. Yeah. I mean, not 4. He was playing at 3. Sorry, he's a level 4. He's playing at 3. Yeah. I enjoyed it 3, especially because Abyss Dweller is a card that is legal in here. Um, off of the big fish, being able to get like there'll be times where I don't even want butterfly fish. I'm talking I go boom 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 and just overlay an Abyss Dweller and make my and like they're playing like tier or something. It's GG. They can't even do anything. Um, next, Coelacanth. This guy's pendulum summon for fish monsters. That's why you're playing this, this, and this. These are the fishes you special off of them. Uh, Abystius is goaded because Abystius adds this, and he discards a card. This card is insane. So I see why you'd play it at 2. I do, because it's not a starter, but it's just, oh my god, it's such a good card. Like, I want to see it going second. Like, if I don't see this card going second, I feel like I'm at such a disadvantage. Um, this card's nice. I mean, you discard 2. This deck is toxic as shit. And then you play one of the Eclipse Spell. This is kind of nice. If you open it, you can like extend with it. It's searchable off of him, but I do like this card a lot. Also, its banish effect to trigger Supreme Sovereign, and then when it's banished, you can Prima Donna and add it back. And then the trap is ridiculous. It's literally just a blackout. So, and then it has this effect which actually comes up. If you're facing a Fiendsmith control deck or something, they're like, hey, Larry, and you're like, yeah, water, and they're like, whoa. Larry's a water fiend. Yeah, so this card does come up. Extra deck, this card's sick. You go into it, brings back him, which then now his effects aren't negated, which then you can use his effect to bring back something. Prima Donna, her effect, you can target a banished monster and a banished card your opponent controls, give it back to their hand, especially summon water. You're usually always summoning statue off of that. Or its other effect is whenever you do banish that card off of Menstrual, see how it says until their end phase? You can actually synchro off Donna, not use her effect to add it back to hand. Synchro off Donna, target that card and shuffle it back into the deck so that you actually do get a true rip off of Menstrual, so that you can actually see the cards you want to get rid of. Dragite, Spell Trap Negate, beautiful card. Trish, we love ripping cards, and it's also very good going second. The Croco Dragon, love this guy. He discards 2 cards, which is really nice because on the follow up you can have like something like dragoons and like like infantry in hand, and like discard both of those, get a search and a pop. It's just nice. Supreme Sovereign. Her effect is that she banishes herself engraved to discard 1 card to draw a card, so that's how you can get his banish effect on your opponent's turn. And then I forgot the other thing. Whenever her effect, when you can do that discard, that's also another way to get his pop, because you discard, draw a card, his effect engrave, new chain, pop a card. Or what you can also do is, if you have him engrave, you can discard Neptibus, and when Neptibus' effect will trigger to reborn Poseidra, and Poseidra will summon, target a card for cost, send infantry from deck, so then you can get spin 2. And then on top of that, you have that steam to get that, so that's 4 removal. And then with the Supreme Sovereign, that's 5 spot removal, while being able to set up like a barrier statue and ripping 2. Kind of crazy. This card's ridiculous. This adds stream and can add back a Dragoon from your graveyard. This card should be banned. We're not going to go over it. Abyss Gaios, pretty cool card actually. While this card has level 5 or higher monsters. But quick effect, detach this and negate the face out effect of all. So it's just a quick effect negate. It's pretty decent. You go into it sometimes. This card is ridiculous. I don't even know why this got printed. You're telling me detach to send 1 card from for cost to the graveyard to non-target return 3 cards to the hand. Then, if it is sent to the graveyard, bring back 3 fish, sea serpent, or aqua monsters, which allows you to go into immediate Trish afterwards. Or, oh my god, like, what do you mean? This card's ridiculous. 2 level 7s. Detach, you get the Reborn, a level 7 or lower Sea Serpent. So if you ever open this in your hand, you can discard it and bring it back that way. This card is a recent addition. Um, if you somehow like are like bricked up, you know, like your opponent stops you with your like that last Dragoon search to like get, it happens sometimes, you know, and it's like why the hell did you hit that? That's so weird. But you're not gonna break my board, but like dude, that's annoying. It's cool because then you can trade out something like if you have like 2 Drolls in your hand, you can trade a Droll out, discard it, and then search the card that you would want to have in your hand instead. Coralline Enemy, this card is just ridiculous. This is probably one of the best Link water monsters in the game. Abyss Keeper, this card is like I'm on and off and whether I want to cut it or not cut it. One of the reasons why I'm really liking it is not the effect to actually special him from hand because most of the time I'm actually using her effect. I'll just discard him early and use her effect to bring him back. But I like the effect where you can target one card disc control and one card your opponent controls and banishes them because while you have a Supreme Sovereign on the field going second, you can just get like a lot of removal. This guy's ridiculous. They can't target water monsters it points to. Also, if a water monster activates in graveyard, you can activate and add the Atlantean spell or equip spell, which the equip spell is pretty good. So that's the card by card for my deck. Now I'm going to show you some other things that you can add into your deck. For example, number one is more ice barrier stuff. Oh, I still have the one dude actually. So General Raiho, he's really cool. I'm gonna add him in it. He's pretty cool actually. His effect is whenever your opponent activates a monster effect on the field and it resolves, they must discard one card or it's negated. So since you're making your opponent already discard, most of the time your opponent's going to be on 2 to 3 cards on their crackback. So say for example you're running against something like branded. If they go to normal Aluber to add a card, they have to discard a card. So now they're on 2 cards, you know, and then they're activating monster effects, and eventually they're just discarding their hand size until they can't do anything. While you also have other forms of interaction, so it's just going to be very annoying for them. But I just like it's cool, but I don't know. I feel like you have to do too much. I feel like you have to commit too much, and it kind of like plays into like things like Maxi and things like that a little more. But you have to be playing this guy to do that, which is actually kind of cool. He's kind of sick. If they activate, you know, they special summon a monster, you'll be able to special summon the Raiho. Another card you can play is this dude, which is pretty cool. Your opponent can activate monster effects in the graveyard, which is like a neat little floodgate that you can also do. But most people play this one. But for that, you need to use him. But I only suggest using that if you are playing the Ice Jade stuff as well. You need to be on this card, I think, because it does make that line a lot better. This card is basically you just discard a card and get a free level 10 Synchro or Link 2. And then you'd also want to be on this card. I might even start being on this card, but just the extra deck's tight, and I'm really liking how mine is right now. I haven't had a problem with it, really. And then there is this one other fish. I do not know its name. My friend's been trying to get me on it, and I might try it out. It's just like it's if you're like you're big into like the statue stuff. Oh, I think I actually saw him right here. So this guy, you would summon him off of your Coelacanth because this is going to be more of your prima donna barrier statue stuff. But you're gonna summon him off your Coelacanth, but he has an effect where you can banish this card from the grave, target the attack, and negate the attack. So they go to target your Aqua Barrier statue, and you just negate the attack while that card's in the graveyard. Very simple, you know. It's not too hard, but pretty good, you know, because that is one of the biggest ways they're adding statue. But I just don't think it's really needed as much because you also have Virtuous Stream, and if you're playing if you're playing because like the idea is like, okay, is the drool. Well, you have this, and you're not playing. That you're still gonna have the spot removal because you're gonna set up Supreme Sovereign, and her banish is gonna get you that spot removal anyways. I mean, I get like people are like, if you open like they can, some people can. There's just there's a lot to it. There's because like you lose to droplet. Like one of the biggest reasons why I don't barrier statue, and you'll see most of the time I go for hand rip, is because you lose to droplet. Droplet is a real card. Um, and most of the time, like I can barrier statue them. Maybe if they're on like they have like two cards left in hand, and I know I can't rip those two cards, I might barrier statue them because I know if they go to droplet, they're gonna have to droplet for like two to break my board. Otherwise, I have the spell trap pop. I have the two pops off of Poseidon. Well, I have the spin and pop off of Poseidra, and then you know I'd also have the Supreme Sovereign. The board would be Supreme Sovereign, probably. Yeah, it'd be Sovereign, Dragite, Barrier Statue, and those would have targeted protection. So they would have to choose between Sovereign and Dragite, and if they wouldn't even send a monster for the barrier, if they wouldn't send a monster for Droplet because they're already low on cards. It's just kind of an annoying thing. Like I only really like to go for barrier statue when I feel safe enough to do it. Like I've looked at their hand and I know that they don't have a droplet, and if they were to draw into a droplet, it'd be way too detrimental for them to actually come back from it anyways. Um, but I just wanted to explain, card by card, some extra things that you could throw in. There's there's other I guess I'll show like one more extra monster that you could maybe play. Like I was thinking about playing it. What's that? It's like how do you spell his name? I think it's called Z. We still have the filters on. 1 second. Yeah, this guy. You could play this guy because he has an effect where it's like you can banish everything and special summon his back as many as possible. And once you go into like Coral, then I mean you can't special summon them except for waters for the rest of the turn. And since it says that you can special summon back, if you're facing anybody that's not playing a water deck, you literally just banish their field. And since you can't special summon back waters, you can't special summon back their cards, and it just is a free board wipe. I might be on it. Like it's really cool. I'm gonna test it on the TCG more. It has a UR craft. I don't have a lot of UR crafts. As you can see, I only have 18 crafts at the moment. So, but I just wanted to go over that. If you cared or anything, I appreciate it. This was just going over the deck and everything, and some other texts and things like that. Have a great day.